we're not going to do that, that I would see what we could do. It was a way of kind of getting off the phone, frankly. And then I turned and handed it to the acting Deputy Attorney General, Mr. Bente.
So I wanted to go into that. Who did you talk with about that? Lifting the cloud, stopping the investigation back at the FBI, and what was their response?
Well, the FBI, during one of the two conversations, I'm not remembering exactly, I think the first, my chief of staff was actually sitting in front of me and heard my end of the conversation because the president's call was a surprise. And I discussed the lifting the cloud and the request with the senior leadership team, who in typically, and I think in all these circumstances, was the deputy director, my chief of staff, the general counsel, the deputy director's chief counsel, and I think in a number of circumstances, the number 3 in the FBI, and a few of the head of the National Security Branch. So that group of us that lead the FBI when it comes to national security.
Okay, you have the President of the United States asking you to stop an investigation that's an important investigation. What was the response of your colleagues?
I think they were as shocked and troubled by it as I was. Some said things that led me to believe that. I don't remember exactly, but the reaction was similar to mine. They're all experienced people who had never experienced such a thing. So they were very concerned. And then the conversation turned to about...
Hey everybody, welcome to another video. And today, it's just a live stream. Whatever.
Because we are the leaders of the FBI, so it's been reported to us in that I heard it and I've shared it with the leaders of the FBI. Our conversation was, should we share this with any senior officials at the Justice Department? Our absolute primary concern was, we can't infect the investigative team. We don't want the agents and analysts working on this to know the President of the United States has asked. And when it comes to the President, I took it as a direction to get rid of this investigation because we're not going to follow that request. And so we decided we got to keep it away.
So yeah, welcome to another video. And today we are going to be doing
We considered whether to tell the Attorney General decided that didn't make
an
sense.
emoji video, whatever. But anyway,
the Deputy Attorney General was Mr. Bente, who was acting, going to be shortly in that seat. We decided
I really don't know.
would be to hold it.
But we're going to be doing trading. It's just fun.
Our view at the time was, look, it's your word against the president's. There's no way to corroborate this.
But anyway,
the prospect of tapes was raised.
it just was really suspicious someone else. Oh my god, she's here? Oh wow. Anyway, I'm gonna buddy this person. She's cute. She has a really, oh my. She's a very cute look. Really pretty. These are rare. This is weird. You know what? Nah, I'm not gonna trade for it. Whatever.
Tell the White House counsel that is not an appropriate request. Someone needs to go tell the president that he can't.
Okay, my den is unlocked.
I don't know. I think as I said earlier, I think the circumstances were such that I was a bit stunned and didn't have the presence of mind. And I don't know. I don't want to.
Trin. Okay.
Sound like I'm Captain Courageous. I don't know whether you're.
Oh my.
I don't know whether it would have.
That's big.
It didn't come to
That is very big.
Be careful what you say.
Don't trade me. Why?
I agree, Flynn is a good guy.
So on the cloud, we keep talking about this cloud. You perceive the cloud to be the Russian investigation in general.
Yes, sir.
But the specific ask was that you would tell the American people what you had already told him, what you had already told the leaders of Congress, both Democrats and Republicans, that he was not personally under investigation.
Yes, sir.
That's what I was asking you to do. What you have done here today.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. And again, at that say, did you say to the president that it would be inappropriate for you to do so? And did talk to the White House counsel or anybody, so hopefully they would talk to him and tell him that he couldn't do this?
First time I said, I'll see what we can do. Second time, I explained how it should work, that the White House counsel should contact the Deputy Attorney General. You told the President president said, okay, I think that's what I'll do.
And just to be clear, for you to make a public statement that he was not under investigation would not have been illegal, but you felt it made no sense because it could potentially create a duty to correct if circumstances changed.
Yes, sir. We wrestled with it before my testimony where I confirmed that there was an investigation, and there were two primary concerns. One was it creates a duty to correct, which I've lived before, and you want to be very careful about doing that.
Okay, so yeah.
It's a slippery slope because if we say the president and the vice president are under investigation, what's the principal basis?
Yay, Fox is on.
And so the leadership is acting.
I want to give a huge shout out to Fox 11047, and I want you guys to go over to her channel and subscribe, please. She's a really nice girl. So yeah, I need to move. People can see. Trade me a fair amount of den betas. I had a really bad day. How do we know if you had a bad day? I'm sorry if you really are, but oh my god.
He was rough by his own account. He said he was rough on McCabe and Mrs. McCabe on the campaign trail. How's he going to be? And I assured the president, Andy is a total pro. No issue at all.
Yes, I do have a Jelly Jones look.
So the president turns to you and says, remember, I never brought up the McCabe thing because you said he was a good guy. Did you perceive that to be a statement that I took care of you? I didn't do something because you told me he was a good guy. So now, I'm asking you potentially for something in return. Is that how you perceive it?
I wasn't sure what to make of it, honestly. If that's possible.
Trade me free. I want to buddy this person, and I will so bad. Trade me free. Yay. I need to move so bad. Where the heck do I go? Can't even see your face, sir. Not even in your profile. Real.
Messing up my ability to be arrested on my agenda. Is that an accurate assessment?
Yes, sir. He actually went farther than that. He said that if some of my satellites did something
People leave.
Well, that's the second part, and that is the satellites. He said it's one of my satellites. I imagine by that he meant some of the other people surrounding his campaign did something, and it would be great to know that as well.
Yes, sir. That's what he said.
So are those the only two instances in which that sort of back and forth happened where the president was basically...
I swear, if someone thinks I'm actually Pepper without looking at my username, just go through my den and they freak out, then, okay, it's gonna be a very weird experience. An army of what? Depending on what you're talking about. It looks like this area. I'm actually Pepper. No, you're not. Okay, yeah, that's what I actually kind of hate about things, or about these situations, because isn't this? Oh, that was spring. That's the reason why it's so neon, or it's neonish. Well, then I'm glad to be with Pepper if you are. Whatever. All of a sudden, I just asked for auto. Auto me, please! What? Really? Whatever. I guess I'm going to do this here. You know what? Yeah, definitely not. Bruh. Who's in my den? Who is that? Who is this? Marshall? God, you. Kind of.
Deputy directors, chief counsel, and then
Whatever. Okay. Maybe I should change my den. Maybe that's kind of the problem.
Thanks, Chairman. Mr. Conley, welcome. You and I have had significant policy differences over the years, particularly protecting Americans' access to secure encryption. But I believe the timing of your firing stinks. And yesterday you put on the record testimony that demonstrates why the odor of presidential abuse of power is so strong. Now to my questions.
There we go.
In talking to Senator Warner about this dinner that you had with the president, I believe January 27th.
Cleared this den out, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, so just fill it up with nice things.
And denied allegations against
There we go. Pixel art.
Now you told Senator Warner that the president was looking to quote gift something. Looking back, did that dinner
It's a pretty nice fancy place.
be contingent on how you handle the investigation?
I guess that's good.
I don't know that I go that far. I got the sense my job would be contingent upon how he felt. Excuse me. How he felt.
I mean it. This is going to be hilarious. If all of a sudden someone comes to my den and then, like, I look and then I come and then all of a sudden they say, steals money. This is mine. Nobody steal. That'd be hilarious to me. I mean, a ton of things are hilarious to me, but that just cracked me up. But yeah, you that one person was in JAMA.
Even though he had not recused himself. What was it about the Attorney General's own interactions with the Russians or his behavior with regard to the investigation?
I'm sorry. I know it's I know that
to make this decision.
okay. I know that St. Patrick's Day is done, but oh, that's kind of all the tables I have. So kind of need to.
And so we were convinced. In fact, I think we'd already heard that the career people were recommending that he recuse himself.
I need to tell my friend I'm live streaming. Damn, live. Just so you know.
In particular, with regard to his involvement in
I know.
firing, which the president has acknowledged was because of the Russian investigation.
That's a question I can't answer. I think it's a reasonable question. If, as the president said, I was fired because of the Russian investigation, why was the Attorney General involved in that chain? I don't know. And so,
what's the name
for the question
of
the testimony was that the president's request
the live stream?
could
What the?
investigation.
I
I
need to see.
what he asked of you.
Live stream fun, messing around with Animal Jam.
Well, we would have closed any investigation of General Flynn in connection with his statements about encounters with Russians in the late part of December. So we would have dropped an open criminal investigation.
So, in effect, when you talk about infecting the enterprise, you would have dropped something major that would have spoken the overall ability of the American people to get the facts.
Correct. And as good as our people are, our judgment was we don't want them hearing that the President of the United States wants this to go away because it might have an effect on their ability to be fair, impartial, and aggressive.
Now, the acting Attorney General, Yates, found out that Michael Flynn could be blackmailed by the Russians. and she went immediately to warn the White House. Flynn is gone, but other individuals with contacts with the Russians are still in extremely important positions of power. Do the American people have the same sense of urgency now with respect to that?
I think all I can say, Senator, is the special counsel's investigation is very important. Understanding what efforts there were or are by the Russian government to influence our government is a critical part of the FBI's mission. So, and you've got the right person, Bob Mueller, to lead it. So it's a very important piece of work.
Vice President Pence was the head of the transition. To your knowledge, was he aware of the concerns about Michael Flynn prior to or during General Flynn's tenure as National Security Advisor?
I don't. You're asking, including up to the time when Flynn was forced to resign? My understanding is that he was, and I'm trying to remember where I get that understanding from. I think from Acting Attorney General Yates.
So, former Acting Attorney General Yates testified that
Let's see who's watching.
General Flynn were discussed with the intelligence community. Would that have included anyone at the CIA or Ian Coates' office, the DNI?
I would assume yes.
Michael Flynn resigned 4 days after Attorney General Sessions was sworn in. Attorney General was aware of the concerns about Michael Flynn during that period?
I don't, as I sit here, I don't recall that he was. I could be wrong, but I don't remember that he was.
And finally, let's see if you can give us some sense of who recommended your fire. Besides the letters from the Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General, do you have any information on who may have recommended or have been involved in your firing?
I don't.
Can't find.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Comey, let me begin by thanking you for your voluntary compliance with our request to appear before this committee and assist us in this very
Hey, hello.
investigation. I wanted first to ask you about your conversations with the president, the 3 conversations in which
Oh my gosh, now everybody's coming during a live stream.
investigation. The first was during your January 6th meeting, according to your testimony, in which it appears that you actually volunteered
I live
that assurance. Is that
right now.
Did you limit that statement to counterintelligence investigations, or were you talking about any kind?
Who the heck is this?
I didn't use the term counterintelligence. I was speaking to him and briefing him about some salacious.
Who is that? That must be her friend. I wanted to ask you something.
That he had a strong and defensive reaction about that not being true.
Me?
And my reading of it was important for me to assure him we were not personally investigating him. And so the context then was actually narrower, focused on what I just talked to him about. But it was very important because it was first true, and second, it was very much
Hello.
kind of a J. Edgar Hoover type situation. I didn't want him thinking that I was briefing him on this.
Shout out to Marshall999.
Because we had been told by the media it was about to launch. We don't want to be keeping that from him. And if there was something, he needed to know this was being said. But I was very keen not to leave him with an impression that the Bureau was trying to do something to him. And so that's the context in which I said, sir, we're not personally investigating you.
And then that's why you volunteered the information.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. Then on the January 27th dinner,
Yes.
you told the president that he should be careful.
I still
asking him to
live.
investigate because, quote, you might create a narrative.
Can you get on chat?
Him personally, which we
Don't know what you
Again,
mean.
Were you limiting that statement to counterintelligence investigations, or more broadly, such as a criminal investigation?
I'm just gonna be
I didn't modify the word investigation.
telling people I'm live.
Again, he was reacting strongly against
And
unverified material, saying, I'm tempted to order you to investigate it. And that, in the context of that, I said, sir, you want to be careful about that because it might create a narrative we're investigating you personally.
And then there was the March 30th phone call with the president in which you reminded him that congressional leaders had been briefed that we were not personally, the FBI was not personally investigating President Trump. And again, was that statement to congressional leaders and to the president limited to intelligence investigations, or was it a broader statement?
I don't know if I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I don't really have the items for it. But I might, since we're trading, I might do a live stream since, pretty much I'm trading.
Investigation cases on, and we specifically said the president is not one of those Americans, but that there was no other investigation of the president that we were not mentioning at that time. What the context was counterintelligence, but I wasn't trying to hide the investigation of the president.
And was the president under investigation
Bruh.
at the time of your dismissal?
I'm live.
I'd like to now turn to the conversations with the president about Michael Flynn, which have been.
Wow.
And first, let me make very clear that the president never should have cleared the room, and he never should have asked you, as he reported to let the investigation go.
Shout out to Charlene 1537.
Your response was, I agree that Michael Flynn is a good guy. You could have said,
do you want to do gifting wars?
Could compromise the investigation. You should not be making
I'm sorry saying that I'm a YouTuber, but I don't know what that is.
Insulated from this kind of political pressure. And you talked a bit today about that you were stunned by the president making the request. But my question to you is, later on, upon reflection, did
There we go.
go to anyone at the Department of Justice?
People are now coming to my den. Apparently because I'm, apparently live.
A far better understanding and appreciation of his role vis-a-vis.
Oh my gosh.
In general, I did.
I am live right now.
About the way in which the president is interacting, especially with the FBI. And I specifically, as I said in my testimony, told the Attorney General, it can't happen.
What?
Out of the room and the president talks to me.
That makes no sense. You found us, Mitty.
It was of investigative interest.
No, you're not a baboon. That just makes no sense. Hi! Hello, Caitlin First Fist. Fire Fist, sorry. Basically gifting each other. I'm Marshall on my sis account. Okay. Thank you. Hello, Marshall.
That he had made a request that you let it go with regard to part of the investigation of Michael Flynn.
No, I specifically did not. I did not.
Wow, a ton of people.
You mentioned that from your very first meeting with the president, you decided to write a memo memorializing.
I'm sorry. Oh no, she said that. Oh, that's really pretty. Thank you. Wait. Thank you. Thank you, Charlene.
Gut feeling is an important overlay on the circumstances that I was alone.
Thank you.
Subject matter and the nature of the person that I was interacting with and my read of that person. And yeah, and really just a gut.
Also, by the way, Brinny, if I don't know what you mean by this, because I'm not a hacker, honestly. I really am not. I'm not. All I know is my own passwords and my backup passwords. So, yeah. I don't know what that means. That was just my first YouTube people that I subbed on. Okay. I'm live.
And my judgment was I needed to get that out into the public square, and so
I live.
to share the content of the memo.
Oh, that's cool.
Didn't do it myself for a variety of reasons, but I asked him to because I thought that might prompt the appointment of a special counsel. And so I asked a close friend of mine to do it.
It was that Mr. Wittes?
No.
Who was that?
A good friend of mine who's a professor at Columbia Law School.
Thank you.
Mr. Comey, prior to January 27th of this year, have you ever had a one-on-one meeting or a private dinner with a president of the United States?
No. I met dinner, no. I had 2 one-on-ones with President Obama that I laid out in my testimony. Once to talk about law enforcement issues, law enforcement and race, which was an important topic throughout for me and for the president. And then once, very briefly, when to say goodbye.
Were those brief interactions?
No. The one about law enforcement and race and policing, we spoke for probably over an hour, just the 2 of us.
How unusual is it to have a one-on-one dinner with the president? Did that strike you as odd?
Why are you running around in
So much
circles?
so that I assumed there would be others.
Me and my mom are going to get free smoothies later, though. XD.
Do you have an impression
Bye,
that
Fox.
if you had found, if you had behaved differently in that dinner, and I'm quite pleased that you did not, but if you had found a way to express some sort of expression of loyalty or given some suggestion that the Flynn criminal investigation...
By the way, it's kind of funny because my username actually really does have my real name in it, and oh my gosh, there's 2 people in my den that have that. It's cool.
But you felt like those
Anyway,
were directly relevant to your the kind of relationship that the president was seeking to establish with you.
Sure, yes.
The president has repeatedly talked about the Russian investigation into the U.S. Or the Russia's involvement in the U.S. election cycle as a hoax and as fake news. Can you talk a little bit about what you saw as FBI director, and obviously only the parts that you can share in this setting, that demonstrate how serious this action actually was and why there was an investigation in the first place?
Yes, sir.
it's a grand reopening of a
There
restaurant.
should be no fuzz on this whatsoever. The Russians interfered in our election during the 2016 cycle. They did it with purpose. They did it with sophistication. They did it with overwhelming technical efforts. And it was an active measures campaign driven from the top of that government. There is no fuzz on that. It is a high confidence judgment of the entire intelligence community. And the members of this committee have seen the intelligence. It's not a close call. That happened. That's about as unfake as you can possibly get. And it's very, very serious, which is why it's so refreshing to see a bipartisan focus on that. Because this is about America, not about a particular party.
So that was a hostile act by the Russian government against this country.
Yes, sir.
Did the president, in any of those interactions that you've shared with us today, ask you what you
Yay.
should be doing or what our government should be doing or the intelligence community to protect America against Russian interference in our election system?
I don't recall a conversation like that.
We've never.
There you
No.
go.
Do you find it
No,
odd?
not with President.
Yay, that's good.
Right.
Attended a fair number of meetings on that with President Obama.
Do you find it odd that the president seemed unconcerned by Russia's actions in our election?
I can't answer that because I don't know what other conversations he had with other advisors or other intelligence community leaders. So I just don't know sitting here.
Did you have any interactions with the president that suggested he was taking that hostile action seriously?
I don't remember any interactions with the president other than the initial briefing on January the 6th. I don't remember, could be wrong, but I don't remember any conversations.
Oh, I'm sorry.
As you're very aware, it was only the two of you in the room for that dinner. You've told us the president asked you to back off the Flynn investigation. The president told a reporter.
Not in that dinner.
Fair enough. Told the reporter he never did that. You've testified that the president asked for your loyalty in that dinner. The White House denies that.
Also, if you're wondering why I love roses so much,
a lot of this comes down to who should we believe. Do you want to say anything?
it looks like a fidget spinner. My
look. Me not to say things like this about myself, so I'm not gonna. I think people should look at the whole body of my testimony.
The reason I love roses so much is because my name has something to do with roses. So yeah.
Trying to be open and fair and transparent and accurate. A really significant fact to me is, so why did he kick everybody out of the Oval Office? Why would you kick the Attorney General, the President, the Chief of Staff out to talk to me if it was about something else? And so that to me, as an investigator, is a very significant fact.
And as we look at testimony or communication from both of you, we should probably be looking for consistency.
There you go.
Well, looking at any witness, you look at consistency, track record, demeanor, record over time, that sort of thing.
Thank you. So there are reports that the incoming Trump
It's just looks weird now. Yeah.
The inauguration attempted to set up a sort of backdoor communication channel with the Russian government using their infrastructure, their devices or facilities. What would be the risks, particularly for a transition, someone not actually in the office of the president yet, to setting up unauthorized channels with a hostile foreign government, especially if they were to evade armed American intelligence services?
I'm not going to comment on whether that happened in an open setting. The primary risk is obvious. You spare the Russians the cost and effort of having to break into our communications channels by using theirs. And so you make it a whole lot easier for them to capture all of your conversations and then to use those to the benefit of Russia against the United States.
The memos that you wrote, did you write all 9 of them in a way that was designed to prevent them from needing classification?
No. And
So I do have a Google Hangouts, just so you know. You don't know what Google Hangouts is. Google Hangouts is it's a thing where you can call people live. You don't always need to show your face, so just if you want to, but then someone's worried about you showing your face and showing your background, your house. Don't worry, because you can block that out. So yeah.
You were terminated at the FBI, said, and still continue to feel that you have provided years of great service to the country. I also said,
Miss Mariah, you gotta go get dressed.
Why?
So we're over at your house for lunch.
But I'm live.
Well, I can't help it if you're live.
In your opinion, the director of the FBI today. So you took as a direction from the president something that you thought was serious and troublesome, but continued to show up for work the next day.
yes, sir.
And 6 weeks later, we're telling the president on March the 30th that he was not personally the target of any investigation.
Correct. On March the 30th, I think again on April 11th as well. I told him we're not investigating him personally. That was true.
Well, the point that, to me, the concern to me there is that all these things are going on. You now, in retrospect, or at least you're now to this committee that these were, you had serious concerns about what the president had, you believe, directed you to do, and had taken no action, hadn't even reported up the chain of command, assuming you believe there isn't up the chain of command, that these things had happened. Do you have a sense of that looking back, that that was a mistake?
No, in fact, I think no action was the most important thing I could do to make sure there was no interference with the investigation.
And on the Flynn issue specifically, I believe you said earlier that you believe the president was suggesting you drop any investigation of Flynn's account of his conversation with the Russian ambassador, which was essentially misleading the vice president and others.
Correct, and I'm not going into the details, but whether there were false statements made to government investigators as well.
The any suggestion that General Flynn had violated the Logan Act.
Hi. Who else knows what a tutorial?
Nobody's ever been prosecuted for violating the Logan Act. My sense would be the discussion,
Hi.
not the problem, misleading investigators or the vice president might have been.
That's it.
And have you previously on February 14th discussed with the president in the previous meeting anything your investigators had learned or their impressions from talking to Flynn?
No, sir.
He said he's a good guy, you said he's a good guy, and that was no further action taken on that.
But he said more than that, but there was no, the action was,
Wait, darn it.
briefed our senior team, tried to figure out what to do with it, and just made a decision. We're going to hold this and then see where we can do it down the road. Yes, sir.
Was it your view that not briefing up meant you really had no responsibility to report that to the Justice Department in some way?
I think at some point, and I don't know what Director Mueller is going to do with it, but at some point, I was sure we were going to brief it to the team in charge of the case. But our judgment was, in the short term, it doesn't make sense to, no fuzz on the fact I reported to the Attorney General. That's why I stressed he shouldn't be kicked out of the room. But it didn't make sense to report to him now.
Yeah, you said the Attorney General said, I don't want to be in the room with him alone again, but you continue to talk to him on the phone. What is the difference in being in the room alone with him and talking to him on the phone alone?
I think what I stressed to the Attorney General is a little broader than just the room. I said, I report to you. It's very important you be between me and the White House.
And after that discussion with the Attorney General, did you take phone calls from the president?
Yes, sir.
So why did you just say you need to talk to, why did you say I'm not taking that call, you need to talk to the Attorney General?
Well, I did on the April 11th call, and I reported the calls, the March 30th call, the April 11th call, to my superior, who was the acting Deputy Attorney General.
I don't want to run out of time here. Let me make one other point. In reading your testimony, January the 3rd, January the 27th, and March the 30th, it appears to me that on all three of those occasions,
What did I do?
listed by the president, made the point that he was not a target of an investigation.
Correct, yes, sir.
One, I thought
Here we go.
very interesting. You said, well, even though you don't want, you may not, once that was the 27th, where he said, why don't you look into that dossier thing more? You said, well, you may not want that because then we couldn't tell you, you couldn't say with, answer the question about you being a target of the investigation, but you didn't seem to be answering that question anyhow. So Rubio pointed out the one unanswered, unleaked question seems to have been that in this whole period of time. But you said something earlier I don't want to fail to follow up on. You said after you were dismissed, you gave information to a friend so that friend could get that information into the public media.
Well, anyway, guys, sorry, thought it wasn't that good. But whatever. I'm just gonna end it now because I have to go and get dressed because I'm going to my aunt's house. And so, yeah, bye guys. And also on Friday, I don't know if I'm going to be doing a live stream or even a video at all. Not that I even do videos much, but either way, because we're either going to Universal or Epcot. So yeah, I might make a live stream or a video there. Just I probably can't on certain rides, maybe, who knows, but whatever. Bye, guys.